Minister Olatunji said that being a music minister doesn't mean you can't be in the music industry. Being in the music industry actually provides a platform for your music ministry to blossom on. And Ms. Adebusola Daudu also said that you don't necessarily have to sing. You don't necessarily have to be able to sing before you operate in the music industry, such that you can operate as an instrumentalist, you can operate as a cameraman, you can operate as a sound engineer, and many others. So now, going to the hot matter on ground, like I've heard so many people pour out their minds on it, and it's been confusing. And the question, most times it actually applies to instrumentalists, but it also applies to singers too, like Minister Olatunji here. They say it is not right, it is not godly for you to collect money for your music ministry. So that brings us to the question on ground. Is it right? Is it right? Like, that's the question on many people's mind. Is it right? If I'm a music minister, if I'm an instrumentalist, can I be paid? And I'm not in it, I'm not singing.
Wow, that's a question that many people actually mix it from. But the thing is, I won't say it's wrong and I won't say it's right. Basically, if you don't allow the monetary aspects to overwhelm you, if you don't allow it to be the major reason why you are serving God, if you're doing it for God, let us know you're doing it for God. And if you decide that you want to go into the music business itself, let us know you are going into the music business. For instrumentalists that actually do that, we have those that sponsors themselves in school. We have those that actually take care of themselves without the support, without the aid of anybody. These are kind of people that actually charges people either to play for them, come to their church, do one thing or the other. They charge people for it. As a music minister, you can charge people too, because I've been under so many, we have so many experiences, like when you have some persons invited to their churches and they don't actually place value on you.
Thank you for coming.
Basically because you said anything they want to give you, they should just bring it. So they will feel they can just give you any amount. You see some persons, they will tell you, God bless you. We were blessed by your ministry. God bless you. Keep going forward. The Lord is your muzzle and everything like that. And they don't even give you something to
not
say,
even Zobo.
Not Zobo. It's so bad to the point that you go for ministrations and in some churches they'll give you pure water and a sachet of biscuits.
My Jesus.
And you'll be like, sir, what is going on here? So in that kind of situation, you'll be like, why didn't I charge them before coming? You understand? But on the other hand, we should not allow the monetary aspects to actually be the basic reason why we are serving God. That is why we have the music ministry. You know that you are doing this basically for God. Either they are paying you or not. I've gone to different churches where it is made of plywood, roof on it, and you have to clap. There's no instrumentalist. The drum set is upside down, and you will sing like there's no tomorrow. In that kind of situation, you still have to give your best to God. So in this, so it's just a weighing thing. Either it is wrong, don't let it be too much. Just let it be like you're doing it plainly for God. If they want to bless you, praise be to God. If they don't feel like blessing you, all glory to God. God knows how he rewards his own people. That's one thing I can say anyway. If I miss anything, any words today, there's one thing I will not miss. There's always a reward for every faithful service in the music ministry. There's always, I say it again, quote me anywhere, there's always a reward for every faithfulness in the music ministry.
All right, thank you very much, sir. I have a question, and Ms. Adebusola Daudu would answer. Now, the question is that, is charging different from honorarium? Do we understand what I just said? Is charging different from honorarium. You know, when a music minister goes to minister, many times they give him honorarium. That doesn't mean he charged them. I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
All right. Thank you for that question. Okay, so talking about, I want to say something. Your last question, you said, should they be paid? Is paying them right or wrong? Can I correct you that you can never pay for the gifts that God has given any music minister? And I tell people when they say, how much should we pay? I say, no, you don't pay. You are just honoring God in their life. So that is where honorarium comes in. You cannot say you want to pay. It's not a good or a commodity that you can afford. You cannot afford the gifts of God. So he has given, and he said we will make wealth with what he has given to us. And because God has given them that gift, and that is what they are using to make their own wealth, and he said he will bless the works of our hand and will make them prosperous and will have good success. And those things he has given us, that we are going out to go and make into wealth and transform. That's why people will now confuse and say, is it not freely that God has given? That why should you charge? Why should you request? Okay, let me just give or outline a few things or a few scenarios. So you have music ministers, those that work with industries, that work with organizations already. So they have a certain a scenario they work with, they have a plan they work with. Okay, so they know logistics, we have this percentage for logistics, we have this for transportation, we have this for feeding, we have this for accommodation, and we have this to sort the other members of the organization. We have this to sort the instrumentalists that will be coming to work with this music minister. So if you look at all these things put in place, there is always an allocation for each of them. That is why some persons, when you call them and they tell you, oh, logistics is so, and there's going to be like, why? It's too much, we cannot afford it because this, that. So when you say charging, I wouldn't really say I support the word charging, because charging, it's not outrightly right. I won't say it's right, I won't say it's wrong. But when you say charging, I don't stand with that. When you talk about honorarium, or people that say, because they are organizations, and every organization has an administration they work with, so they tell you this is what we work with and that is it. If you can afford it, fine. If you cannot afford it, that's fine. They will continue running their organization, because if you don't have standards that you work with as an organization, everybody will just do it anyhow, and then things would not fall into place like it's meant to be. So if you have those that do not work with organizations, music ministers that work on their own, maybe with a small team or a group of people, like he said some persons, if you do not inform them beforehand and say, oh, what's going to be your plan, what are you going to do, and then they just call you and then they tell you, oh, thank you so much for coming, we're really grateful, we're blessed by administration, oh, may the good Lord bless you, and then you are going back to your instrumentalist and then they're looking at you like, bros, how far now, facing this up, and then they're looking at them and you're shining. Yes, because you are shining seeds, because God bless is going to take you back to your house. And let me pause on that note. My message to music ministers is that never go for any ministration without planning how you go and come back beforehand. Never depend on what the church is going to give you, whether or not you know what they are giving you, or whether or not you've informed them. Because you can get there and then they'll tell you, oh, we don't have cash, can you do check? And then it's in the middle of the night. How do you want to cash a check in the middle of the night? Or they tell you, oh, our pastor is not around, we'll send it to you during the week, and then you become stranded and say, oh, how do you get back? Or they tell you, oh, we don't give cash in our church, you can only give material things, and then they give you a bag of sausages and juice, and then what do you do? So beforehand, always plan how you get there with your team and how you come back, and every other thing that deals with accommodation, transportation, and all of that. So going back to whether or not they should charge, I would say yes, I won't say no. But it's necessary that we know that this person, some of them, majority of them, this is their only source of income. That's their business. That's what they do. So you cannot just call them And like you said, some persons go to school for these things. I know of a music minister that said he would not appreciate any minister that would say, oh, because it's under the spirits and then he's going off key. So they need to put necessary things in place, like going for trainings, maintaining their voice. And I hope you know that there is insurance even for our voice. I hope you know that, sir. So they do all of these things so that they can preserve their gifts and advance in that gift, so that that gift would not become stale, in essence that people would no longer reference them or add value to what they have. So they have to keep going for trainings. There are times some of them you reach out and they say, we're not taking any bookings for now, because they are retreating, they are resting their voice, they are taking in some necessary things. And to do these things, they need money. To transport themselves, they need money. To get equipment, they need money. To go out to churches, to do their song promotions, productions and all of that, they need money. Support music ministers. Thank you.
Wow. They are really burdened. Like, you can hear from the sound of their voice that they are not joking at all. Like, people have actually familiarized them. Like, they suffer a lot, most especially the ministers. Let me not specify music ministers, but those are the people who are talking about on today's episode. So majority of them have suffered a lot. I heard of a certain minister, a friend, and he was lamenting. He was like, they went for a music ministration, and when they got there, when it was time to bless them with their honorarium, they were just keeping them on hold. They had to wait till after the service. Thank you, sir, for coming. And he came with instrumentalists. So he now had to start begging all of them one after the other, after spending how many amount of money on Uber just to get to the location. And I think the location was a very far place. So just imagine the stress they go through on a daily basis. So we really need to support them. We really need to help them. So are you a music minister, or are you upcoming, or are you called to the music industry? We are supporting you. We are telling you to carry on. We are telling you to do what God lays in your hand to do. We are telling you that it is not wrong to request for money when need be. And we are also telling you that you should not be money driven, because it is a ministry. Thank you for joining us on today's show. We celebrate you. God bless you. Subscribe to FreeBornTv. See you next time.